Hiya there, I'm Jason Cunningham. I'm sponsored by Cadence Super Team Bait Tech and AJW Floats, and we've come out to the Moira Canal today to have a little practice ready for this upcoming King of the Cuts match, which is on the reigning champ of. And well, I'm going to come to the basin at the top of the canal. It wasn't pegged last year, so it's a bit of an unknown bit to a lot of people. I'm going to run through the baits I've brought today. The main bait I'm hoping to catch on is red and fluoro pinkies. There's a point there. I've also got about half a pint of red maggots. I've got a pint of casters, nice fresh casters there from yesterday, and I got a handful of dendrobina worms. I'm just going to feed pinkies and a bit of ground baits, a bit of Bait Tech Pro Natural Dark there mixed up, and I'm just going to feed some ground baits and pinkies on the short line, and then just feed worms and casters and that on the longer line to see if we can catch a few bigger fish at some point. I've got a couple of rigs set up. I've plumbed up two lines and it's exactly the same depth, so I've got two rigs. I've got a light rig and a heavy rig for the same line, and then the rigs are, the heavier rig is a carbon Conway. It's been done upon 012 main line to an 010 hook length, and I've got like an 18 medium gauge wire hook, something like a Tubertini Series 1, which I use. It's just shotted with a bulk of number 11s, probably about 18 inches from the hook, with two number 11 droppers in between that, and then that's down to a number 5 elastic. That should hopefully cover most fish we'll look out there. And then the lighter rig is a 0.3 RR1. I've just cut it down a little bit, so they are actually a bit longer than that. I'll cut it down a little bit for this shallow canal fishing. It's done on 09 main line with an 08 hook length, and that's just got a little size 20 hook on. The shotting's very similar, it's just a bulk of number 11s. I've got two number 12 droppers on this one, set about the same sort of distance, about 18 inches from the hook, and slightly lighter number 4 elastic. And then basically just the two rigs I've set up. It's the same depth, so I'll just alternate these two rigs. Okay, then I'm going to show you. I'm going to feed my lines for today's session. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed a couple of balls of ground bait with some pinkies on the line at around 6 metres, just to try and catch some small fish and see what's there. And then the longer line, I'm just going to feed some worms, casters, a few maggots and that, and just loose feed a few casters now and again with a catapult over it. There's a ball of ground bait as big as a decent hand-sized ball of ground bait, and probably, I don't know, it's 30 or 40 pinkies. I'll ship that out to about 6 metres. What I'm doing is I'm using, there's a post over there with some tourist post. I'm using that as a marker, so because it's quite a big open expanse of water, you don't want to lose where you're feeding. I'll feed 2 balls of ground bait on that same line. And on that longer line, I've got some finely chopped dendrobinas in here, which I've also put a few maggots in there when I've chopped them up and chopped the maggots in with them, so you got a bit of juice off the maggots as well. And that, a bit of a tip for you there. That works well on these canals. So there you go, put that in. And about the same amount of casters, and a little pinch of maggots. That should kick it off. that's both the lines fed initially. The shorter line, I'm just going to loose feed a few pinkies over every couple of minutes, and then the longer line, I'll loose feed a few casters. And hopefully, it shouldn't take long to go under. Just hooked another decent fish. I think it's off a decent roach, I think, or a rudd. It's a nice. I'm wrong. That's hybrid. roach rudd hybrid, isn't it? I think. Okay, I've been fishing for about 20-25 minutes now. I fed the lines, and then it's took about 5 minutes to get my first bite, and I've had about 10 little tiny rudd just holding the rig up on the drop. And then the last 10 minutes it's gone a bit better. I've had a nice skimmer, 2 or 3 nice roach. It's just starting to settle down now. Not loads of bites, but if I get a bite on the bottom, it's a better fish. And then if I get some, hold it up on the way down, it tends to be one of them little rudd. But it's ticking over all right at the moment. I'd be happy if it was a match. Okay, I'm starting to catch a few nice skimmers on this short line now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this in the net. I'm out of the way. I'm going to go and have a quick look at the caster on my heavier rig on that longer line. See if there's any proper skimmers about. So let's pop that there. Here it is. Cast and ship out, let's see. There's an indication straight away then, wasn't it? Real little daft rudd. Not that long. Let's move that down a bit. Not a skimmer, but a bit better stamp roach. So I say it's quite important to just keep rotating lines while you're on the canal. Even if you've got fish feeding on one line, just don't plunder them till they've disappeared. Just give them a little break every now and again and try a different line. And what you'll find is the fish will stay longer on all your lines then as well. So there's a few more of them out there. So just a single caster on size 18. I could just hook it like a maggot for now. If I start missing bites or don't get bites, then you can start burying it and trying different ways of presenting it. But you know, a little tip, don't forget to keep feeding that other line that you've just come off. Don't ignore it just because you've gone on a different line and started catching a few fish. Right, so gone on this long line. I've not had no skimmers like I expected to, but I'm catching some nice stamp roach. I'm missing quite a few, but I started on caster, I'm missing quite a few bites on it. So I just put like two big red maggots on the hook. You can see, there you go, oh, that, and I've hooked a big fish, and that ain't a roach. Oh God. Don't think that's a roach, is it? I've hooked a lump here. I think it's a carp or a big tench. I'll take my time. There's a lot of weed. I can feel it grating through weed. I'm just going to take my time and see if we can get it in. I've only got light out, an out 10 hook length and 5's elastic, which is a bit undergunned, but we will try our best. I don't know, try and keep it up, because there's a lot of weed out here. So. The perch, I've just seen a great big perch fin come up. I'm completely wrong. There it is. It's a huge perch, actually. Yeah, can you see his back?
Just keep it in the landing net, you should come round and get
I mean, that's £3.
You know what, I swore blind then, the way that pot formed.
That is the biggest perch I've ever caught in my life, look at that. gone straight back out. I've hooked a roach, and then next putting I've hooked another great big fish on this maggot. I think it's another big perch. I've had one probably £3.
Fish of a lifetime.
And then
Perch well over £3. He's gone back out and he's hooked another one. So you've just had a perch.
yeah.
Hooked another one. This is why pole is.
Not quite as big, but it's £2 plus.
There you go. A £2 perch. He's just on a £3.
Well,
Three and a bit pound perch. He's just on a £2, you know.
well, £2.5.
So, in 2 fish, 2 perch, that's another £6 in weight.
Right, we've had a great session today on the Moira Canal. We've fished for 3 hours, possibly. I've had like an hour on the top 2 plus 2 fishing pinkies and over ground bait and bits of stuff, and I've probably had, I don't know, £7 or £8 of roach and rud off that line in that time. And then this longer line where I fed these casters, it's just absolutely black with fish. I've had some great big perch, and I'm catching fish like this every single put in now. I think it's ain't close to calling it a day, but it's just been awesome. I think those that are going to be fishing this King of Cup match next week are in for an absolute treat. Okay, then that's today's catch. It's £20 plus 3 hours fishing. Can't argue with that. I didn't expect it. Started off really slow. I didn't expect it to be this good. For 10 or 15 minutes, I thought it might be really difficult. But as soon as I got onto that longer line with casters and worms, it's been a bite every put in. And some cracking roach. Right, well, what I'd say is just what an epic day's fishing I've had today. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. 3 hours fishing for, I don't know, 20 odd pound of fish. I'm amazed. All I'd like to do is say thanks to my sponsors, Cadence, James Robbins from Cadence, and Bait Tech and AJW Floats. And also a massive thanks to Fishing for Info for filming this video today for me. Thank you.